Coming up in this edition of Cogeco News, the latest from Ontario on dealing with long-term care facilities and more during COVID-19. The beaches, yes, they'll be reopening, although the weather's not good, and a virtual walk coming for four-legged friends. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to this Friday edition of Cogeco News. I'm Greg Esterbrooks. First tonight, emergency personnel were called to Silver Beach Park Friday afternoon just before 4 p.m. as there was a report of a man in distress on Lake Nipissing. That report may have been a little exaggerated when all came to pass. Nevertheless, emergency crews did respond, had to respond really when they get that call. Cogeco News spoke to the fire department about the rescue call.
Well, we got the call through our dispatch. I'm assuming it came in as a 911 call, and the original caller said there was multiple people in the water and that they were going under. So we responded with Station 3, and Station 1 brought our water rescue equipment down. And when we arrived on scene, police were on scene, and they were heading out into the water. And we deployed our RFD when we got on scene and paddled out to the gentleman on the windsurfer. It turned out to be a single windsurfer that I guess he's telling us that when we got out there that he just lost the wind, so he was just floating around. But he was in no time, I don't think, in any danger. He was on his board or with his board. So. Well, we're a land-based rescue. We don't have a watercraft per se. We do have a flotation, like a rescue flotation device that we use. But again, it don't have a motor or anything on it. We did get some assistance from a civilian on scene, and he brought a jet ski out, and he was able to assist us getting back in with the police and the gentleman on the windsurfer.
To the City of North Bay and City Hall beginning June 15th, the City of North Bay will be reintroducing transit fare collection and resuming regular parking enforcement 2 weeks from Monday. North Bay Transit has since implemented a number of health and safety protocols, they say, that will allow for the safe reintroduction of fare collection and front door boarding, including the installation of plexiglass barriers separating drivers from passengers. Meanwhile, the North Bay Regional Health Center has announced it will be able to resume some appointments. They'll let you know surgeries and procedures beginning Monday, June 1st, with new measures in place to keep their patients, staff, and physicians all safe. Patients will be contacted directly to reschedule all procedures. Not all surgeries, though, and procedures will resume on June 1st. They'll be letting you know when your specific surgery can be held. The Ontario government may be planning on using geography as a basis for a phased reopening of the province. Doug Ford, after saying a few days ago that was not going to be an option, it was going to be one size fits all. Now, Friday, he says everything is on the table. Here's Vic Fedeli's take on that issue of reopening and more. He also said it's up to the doctors to decide.
The concern, of course, would be if we open a certain type of facility in the north, because we have fewer cases of COVID-19, the people in the GTA would end up coming here to take advantage of those services and spread the COVID-19 virus. That's what the Chief Medical Officer of Health has told us. Now, we continue amongst our cabinet to debate the regionalization, but we always go back to the advice from the Chief Medical Officer of Health, who has given us some pretty firm guidelines until things change.
Another guideline is the emergency order that has been placed on Ontario. Supposed to be lifted June 9th, but it's been changed 3 times already. Could it be changed again?
Well, it could be. We saw numbers drop from the 400s into the 200s, but spiked back up again yesterday. So again, we'll continue to take the guidance from the Chief Medical Officer of Health. We make the final decisions at Cabinet for the emergency order. The June 9th date, we'll see around June 9th whether we need to extend that or not.
On another front, the long-term care crisis has escalated in this province and really across the country. But in Ontario, several homes have been taken over by the government, and maybe more will be taken over. Does Fedeli have any specific plans for the many long-term care facilities in the riding of Nipissing?
We're doing several things. First of all, we're taking over 5 more long-term care homes. We had taken over 2 in the past. We've got 6 teams of inspectors, of 2 inspectors going in for the next 2 weeks to all of these facilities. We're also going to have surprise visits of many long-term care facilities throughout Ontario, so rather than a scheduled visit. So we are generally taking over the assessment of these facilities.
Another assessment being made is the volume of testing being done in Ontario per capita lower than other provinces. Is that going to change?
We need to be able to stand in front of the camera like I am today and say, I went to the assessment center on Monday and was tested. I got my results back on Wednesday that I was negative. I think people need to know that you don't need to have any symptoms to go. The Premier wants everybody in Ontario to be tested. You don't have to have any symptoms any longer. You just need to go and say, I'd like my assessment, please, and have it done. It's relatively short, it's painless, and you'll have a level of comfort, but we'll also have the data that we need to be able to make our further decisions.
Speaking of data, one new positive on the North Bay Prairie Sound District Health Unit COVID by the numbers board tested. 270 tested, a big jump on Thursday. Cases up 1 to 27. 23 have been resolved, 1 fatality. 1 is hospitalized. 3 are in self-isolation. Well, as of Friday, all of North Bay's public beaches are now open, although the weather is not exactly a day to spend at the beach. On Friday, it was not great, but Clark is standing by at Marathon Beach for this update.
Well, Greg, no sun seekers on Marathon Beach on this Friday afternoon simply because there's no sun to be sought. Sky quite overcast, but I did find a break in the rain showers to stand here and share some important information concerning this weekend weather, as well as closures of Memorial Drive to allow for social distancing. Yes, the City of North Bay has opened all of its public beaches. However, those who wish to swim do so at their own risk. No lifeguards will be on duty anywhere within city limits. The provincial order of no more than 5 people to a gathering will be in place on beaches, and city officials recommend to wait if the beaches are too crowded to socially distance while enjoying the beach. I really don't know how many people will come down to Marathon Beach and other beaches this weekend because the temperatures in the teens, overnight low on Saturday night, 0. Unfortunately, the stars did not align for the beach opening. However, the city did not open the beaches because of the weather forecast. They did so because of public health officials. We can and will enjoy the beaches on sunny weekends that are down the line. Closure to mention, Memorial Drive will be closed to traffic as of 3 p.m. this Friday until 8 a.m. on Monday. Regina to the waterfront marina, no vehicles will be allowed. However, foot traffic, bikes, rollerblades, you name it, you can do it on Memorial Drive this weekend. Just make sure you're 2 meters apart from anyone else. Let's send it back to Greg in the studio as he has more local news.
Thank you, Clark. Beaches at Elks Beach Conservation Area on Trout Lake off Highway 17 and the Ava Wardlaw Conservation Area on Lake Nipissing off of Lakeshore Drive are now open. That was announced not by the city, but by the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority. The latest salute to truckers and delivery drivers, quite noticeable on Highway 1117 bypass on Algonquin. North Bay Hydro teamed up with Grounded Electrical to give a well-deserved shout-out to long-haul truckers and delivery drivers on this day. Space station launch will be coming at you right after this break, and we'll have much more Cogeco news for you right after this. Welcome back, everybody. The space station launch delayed. Supposed to be taking place Saturday. Your TV interviewed a retired astronaut from Oakville who talks about its historical significance. Melissa Candelario reports.
You and I are going to be part of history in the making. Well, at least we will get to watch on Saturday as NASA, in partnership with aerospace manufacturer SpaceX, launches 2 astronauts to the International Space Station. Although originally set for Wednesday, the launch was postponed due to unfavorable weather conditions. Now, Ontario resident Dr. David Williams is no stranger to space. The retired astronaut says this is a really historic moment for NASA and human spaceflight.
So over the past 10 years, NASA and the international partners have utilized the Russian space program, the Soyuz spacecraft, to send astronauts to the International Space Station. The last time we launched astronauts to the space station from Kennedy Space Center in Florida was roughly 10 years ago. So this is historic in the sense that we're now bringing launch capability back to NASA, back to the United States, once again launching crews from Florida to go to the space station. But more importantly, it's that unique partnership between a private sector company and NASA to build a launch capability to take humans in space. So this is not only the dawn of a new era of space exploration, it's the dawn of new capability that one day we'll see private sector technology used to take everyone into space, and that's going to be very exciting.
The success of this launch will pave the way for further exploration in space. Williams says it's the beginning of an exciting time.
Well, there's no question that the technology we're looking at today is technology to enable us to go farther in space and to stay longer. If you look at the capsule and you compare it to the capsule that was used in the Apollo program to send the astronauts to the moon, it looks very, very similar. Of course, what we're looking at today is a much more modern, technologically enhanced version.
The annual Dog Walk for Dog Guides put on by the Whitfield Lions Club typically takes place on the waterfront in June. Of course, nothing is typical in 2020 this year due to COVID. It also has gone virtual, and Clark has more.
Over the past couple months, we've known this all too well. Many late winter and early spring fundraisers have gone digital. That is the case for this weekend's Dog Walk for Dog Guides.
We are doing the walk virtually this year, which is yes, a lot different. But what's great is we are just encouraging everybody to go out, spend some time with their dogs, whether it be a short walk in their backyard, do a trick with your dog, just be a part of the event, post it, and let's get the word out there that we're still here.
Fundraising is a major component, so how are you able to facilitate that?
So we do have all fundraising will be done online, so by credit card, donations are optional. It is hard times, but obviously encouraged because dog guides are always needed.
Raising and training a dog guide is no small feat in terms of finance.
It's $25,000 to fully train and go through the process of being a dog guide.
And just by chance, Miss Pigeot was accompanied by a dog guide who visited her at her place of work.
Albert is a seeing eye dog, so a canine vision guide dog. Yeah, and he's been working for just over 6 years. These dog guides are so important, helping people get around and feeling more confident at getting around.
How do people get involved with this virtual event?
So they can find us on Facebook. It's Pet Value Walk for Dog Guides North Bay. As well as we have our website for donations.
The event on Sunday runs from 10 to 4. Reporting for Cogeco News, I'm Clark Heipel. Let's send it back to the big dog at the news desk, Greg.
Over the past couple of days, avid cyclist Ari Hugerbrug has enjoyed a well-deserved rest in Bonfield after traveling over 5,000 kilometers on his bike. When he completes his 3-year-long ride, he will have amassed over 55,000 kilometers. More of Clark's interview with Ari.
Accomplishing a major athletic feat often tied to a fundraising effort. With that in mind, I asked Hugerbrug this question. Many people have goals to do fundraisers. You bike across Canada, you do it for cancer research, you run across the province, you do it for another cause. Have you considered doing this for a cause?
It's probably been one of the most common questions that I've been asked. At this stage, it's not really part of the deal. It's not really part of the plan. I'm just sort of pedaling because this is a dream and a goal. COVID-19 has kind of put a bit of a, it's caused a bit of an issue or situation, but because of all my local interactions with Atlantic Canada, it's kind of caused me to focus on more local interactions than anything else. And that's just been the experience of a lifetime. And so I'm mostly focused just on local interactions. Some of the people I've met are just unbelievably amazing. I could, like I said, I could go on for hours with some of the interactions.
What would you say to someone who doesn't have the drive to start something new, to try something new, they're scared? What would you say to them?
I would say just go for it. I mean, someone was just messaging me the other day that also is planning to bike across Canada this summer, and they admitted they were anxious. And I said, you have nothing to worry about until there is something to worry about, and then you just deal with it. So in the grand scheme of things, there is nothing to worry about no matter what you want to do until there is something, and then you deal with it. Like I said, I did no training. I mean, I was too scared to even get on the bike in front of someone. The bike was so heavy. And here I am about 5,400 kilometers later. I'm still here. I'm still standing.
All right, breakdown has arrived here on Cogeco News. When we come back, Clark checks out some unusual streets in North Bay and has a weather forecast as well. All that after this.
Weather is brought to you by Canadore College. Great things happen here.
A rainy Friday in the Bay, just in time for North Bay's beaches to be open. Welcome back to Cogeco News. I'm Clark Heipel here, and I'll tell you where here is in just a moment. I am here for your 5-day weather forecast brought to you by Canadore College. Also here to remind you to wear red on Fridays to show your support for the men and women of the Canadian Armed Forces. And this Friday, we are remembering the life of Jen Casey, captain for the Canadian Snowbirds. May she rest in peace.
This Friday also marks International Day of United Nations Peacekeepers. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau released a statement. It read in part, quote, "Today we join the international community to recognize the courage, selflessness, and sacrifices of the more than 1 million people who have served as the UN peacekeepers since 1948. We also honor the memory of the thousands who have lost their lives in the cause of peace," unquote.
On this rainy Friday, I am continuing along with my new segment, Streets You Didn't Know Existed. So a few hints are behind me. There's a no dumping sign, typical for streets with dead ends. It's forested, and there are 3 houses on this street. It's named after a northern Ontario town with the letter C beginning its first name, and perhaps there's a Polar Bear Express that leaves that town. Yes, the street I am on is named Cochrane. It is just off of Cedar Heights, to the right of the Highway 11 hill if you're heading north. So if somebody says, meet me at the corner of Cochrane and Cedar Heights, now you know. It is going to be a wet weekend, unfortunately, because the stars did not align for the opening of the beaches. Would have been nice last weekend to have the beaches open. However, we're just going to have to live with it. You can see here, mosquitoes are all over the place. So let's take a look at that 5-day forecast before I get eaten alive. Venturing overnight on this Friday night, the showers continue and there is a risk of a thunderstorm as the temperature will drop to single digits, 9 degrees for the overnight low into Saturday, the 30th of May. On Saturday, we're steady at 9 with chance of thunderstorms in the morning and early afternoon. And then the sky's clear. There could be time to enjoy outdoor activities, socially distancing, of course, as we're going to drop to a very cool low of 0 for this time of year on Saturday night. The skies will be somewhat clear, partly cloudy. On Sunday, the rain returns, high 13, low 4. Monday, the 1st of June, June bugs will be dancing around on that day, 18 and 9 for the high and low, mix of sun and cloud. And Tuesday, chance of rain, 16 and 13 for the high and low, pretty steady on Tuesday. Turning the page back to the almanac, Thursday, we had a high of 27 and a low of 18. The normals for this time of May, which is disappearing very quickly, 21 and 9 for the normal high and low.
A couple of important fundraisers on the weekend. We told you about the Walk for Dog guides earlier in the newscast. Also this Sunday is the Cystic Fibrosis Walk. It's all virtual, so you can fundraise, donate online, and participate anywhere in Canada to complete your walk your way on your time. Visit cysticfibrosis.ca/walk to find out how to get involved in Sunday's event.
There you have it. There is your 5-day weather picture. Do stay tuned. My best buddy in the news business, Greg Estabrooks, will be back with your sportscast right after this very short break.
Sports is brought to you by Tag Construction for all your construction needs.
Welcome back, everybody. Yesterday we told you that Stephen Hong will be taking over as the head coach of the Canadore College men's basketball team beginning in September. We hope. Hong has been around for a long time in this area, coaching at various levels, youth levels, university levels, and now the college-age players are on his bench.
Well, for me, whenever it came about Canada program, 8-9 years ago, I was always following. Whether I had the opportunity to be at their first training camp way back, and always been following it ever since. And I think this is just a great opportunity for me to be a part of it and help build and establish a culture with Canadore College and Canadore Panther athletics.
With Ontario colleges offering 2- and 3-year programs, CIS basketball careers are relatively short when compared to the OUA. Recruiting is top of mind for Coach Hong.
Especially with these unique situations that we're in at this moment. Right now, can't go out and look at players at this moment, but I definitely look forward to connecting with players and coaches and just see what the talent there is around Ontario and around Canada as well.
All right, let's recap a couple of things from earlier today that you might need to be made aware of if you didn't know. Beginning June 15th, the City of North Bay will be reintroducing transit fare collection and resuming regular parking enforcement again 2 weeks from Monday, which will be the 15th. North Bay Transit has since implemented a number of health and safety protocols they say will allow for the safe reintroduction of fare collection and front door boarding as well. The North Bay Regional Health Center has announced it will be able to resume some appointments, surgeries, and procedures beginning Monday, which is June 1st, with new measures in place to keep patients, staff, and physicians safe. Patients will be contacted, so wait for the call directly to reschedule their procedures. But again, not all surgeries and procedures will resume on June 1. That is it for news, weather, and sports for this day and for this week. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Greg Esterbrooks, and please remember that everything you see on your TV North Bay, including Cogeco News, remains truly local